Hello, I'm Kari Samuels, your intuitive counselor and happiness coach with your 2020 forecast. Happy New Year! Here we are in a new year, a new decade, and a whole new chapter of your life. Everything this year is going to change. This is one of the most radically life-changing years you will ever experience. You're going to look back and you are going to be amazed at how much has transformed for you. Now, of course, you have to be an active part in that transformation, because if you want something to change for the better, it's best to be involved. So that's why I'm sharing this with you today, so that you can be prepared for the amazing transformation that is afoot. And the more proactive you are, the more responsible you are in your actions, the more incredible and fulfilling and nourishing these changes are going to be. So you really need to be paying attention, and that's why I'm sharing with you the energy that we are experiencing, so that you can be aware of what the universe is sharing with you, so you can be attuned with the energy of the universe. So the universe is telling us a story. Numbers and planets, they all tell a story. So if this was like a book, for instance, and January was the first scene or the first chapter of the book, it would be kind of like a car chase. There's so much happening at the top of the year, and it's really informing what the decade's going to be about and what this year is going to be about. So I'm going to share with you what the universe is sharing with us through symbols, numbers, energy, planets, and so you can get an idea about what you need to do to align yourself with these energies. So first of all, we began this year, this decade, in an eclipse portal. So what that means, eclipses are always 2 weeks apart. So we had our new moon solar eclipse on the 25th or the 26th of last year, December, depending on where you were in the world. So we had this powerful new moon eclipse, and new moon eclipses are the start of new fateful beginnings. They awaken your consciousness to things that have been eclipsed. They're really new chapters, new beginnings. So that's how we ended last year and last decade. So there's this portal, there's this bridge between eclipses because they're 2 weeks apart. And our next eclipse is going to be on January 10th. Now here's the thing, this 2 weeks in between, that portal in between eclipses is when the veils are thin between this side and the other side. There's this awakening. It brings your consciousness, anything that has been previously eclipsed. So there's this sense of you reclaiming an awareness, you reclaiming your intuitive gifts, you reclaiming parts of yourself that you've been hiding or that have been hidden from view. So that's how we start this year in this wonderful eclipse season. So even before this eclipse, on January 8th, there's this conjunction. Now the eclipses are connected to the moon's nodes. The north node has to do with where we're headed karmically, dharmically, what as a collective and an individual you are going toward. Now our north node is in Cancer right now, and our south node is in Capricorn, which has to do with ambition, work, career, economy. Now, South Node represents karma, past life influences that you're moving away from. So the 8th of this month, January 8th, Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, is conjunct our South Node, which has to do with karma. So basically, this is happening during eclipse season. So there's this awakening of our past life karmic influences. Now, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Now, remember, our South Node is in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is going to be a big player all year long, as well as Saturn. Saturn is known as the Lord of Karma. So this whole year, we're having this karmic awakening, this awareness of these past life gifts that we've held in our shadow, as well as the stuff you haven't dealt with. So everything that goes into our shadow, our karma, it's not just about being a good person or bad person, because sometimes what goes in your shadow is your power. And Capricorn is very much associated with your power, your status in the world, your ambition. So there's parts of you that you've maybe tucked into your shadow about what you want to do and be, your ambitions, because we're all taught to maybe dim our light a little bit. We're all taught to be nice and good. And so the parts of yourself that are powerful, that are direct, that are strong, that's also been pushed in the shadow. Now, of course, there's this global element of Capricorn, which has to do with government and economy, that we know there's a little bit of shadowy stuff going on there right now, a little shady goings on. So that's all coming to light right now. So this is how we're starting this year, with this karmic awakening, this karmic influence in this eclipse portal. Okay, so then on the 10th, we have this full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. Now remember, Cancer is our north node. The Cancer is where we're all headed collectively. This is about nurturing. This is about being very in tune with your feelings, allowing yourself to be sensitive, about nurturing yourself as well as others. It's about family. So this brings your awareness. This is everything that's been eclipsed around areas of nurturing and this balance of work and play and self-care versus how you nurture others. This is all being brought to light at the top of the year in this January 10th eclipse. Now, right before this happens, Uranus, which is known as the Great Awakener, it's the quickening planet. Uranus is all about freedom and revolutionary change. That's going direct right before this eclipse. So this freedom planet, now, which has been retrograde, so that's brought your awareness to what freedom really means to you. How can you really be liberated in this world? Is freedom about your lifestyle? Is it about who you are, having the freedom to express who you are? That's all being awakened right now. And this first week of the year is like incredible, right? And this first couple of weeks of the decade. So we have this Uranus going direct, waking you up to your freedom and how you want to create revolutionary change right before this lunar eclipse, this full moon lunar eclipse in Cancer. Now, of course, lunar eclipses bring an ending to things. So even though we're having this beginning, there's this sense of endings because you have to end things before you begin things. And this is one message about the year. It's about how can you reclaim the parts of yourself? How can you tie up loose ends? How can you put an end to the ways that you've been being so that you can have more power, more status, more freedom, that your ambitions can be brought to light? And there's this sense of reclaiming and going back all through the year. Every single planet is going to be retrograde this year. And when a planet is retrograde, this is about going in and reclaiming, going in and recovering, going in and reawakening parts of yourself, all the RE words. So retrogrades are internal processes. So this is a year very much about building. This is actually a year about building your dreams step by step. And the way to do that is to go back inside of yourself and reconnect with your power, reconnect with your strength, reconnect with the parts of yourself that you were afraid to share with the world, whatever that means. And that's all the human emotions too, right? Like, we're not all butterflies and roses all the time, right? You're not a unicorn. So this is about sharing the parts of yourself that you've been afraid to even recognize within yourself. And that's why we're having this eclipse that's bringing everything to light and all these retrogrades all year long. This is about collecting yourself and then sharing those parts of yourself and being very strong and very much in your power. Now, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. You're going to hear a lot of buzz about this. January 12th, right after these eclipses, we are having a conjunction between Saturn and Pluto. Saturn, the lord of karma. Pluto, the lord of the underworld. Can we talk shadow here? So Pluto is this power planet. It's about death and birth and rebirth. So Pluto is really about going into your shadow. It's having a conjunction with Saturn, the lord of karma, but Saturn's also about our structures in the world. In Capricorn, remember, we've heard about this Capricorn before, this character, right? So if we're in this novel, this Capricorn character is like the key player here. It's the main character of the year. Capricorn, ambition, work, economy, governments, all of that. That's Capricorn. So Saturn and Pluto are going to have this conjunction in Capricorn that happens once every 45 years or so, but it hasn't been in conjunct in Capricorn for 500 years. So what's going to happen is we're being awakened to the truth. We're being awakened to our power and the truth in the world and power dynamics in the world. And there's going to be a destruction of things that no longer serve us and no longer serve you. So collectively and personally, there's this breaking down of structures, which is what Capricorn is. And rebuilding. Because every time there's a death, there's a rebirth. So that's happening on January 12th. After all this, and this is how we're beginning the year. This is how we're beginning the decade. This is big stuff. Now this decade, the 20s, are all about cooperation and sharing and partnership. Now the 10s that we just got out of, it's about you were learning who you are. You were really gaining clarity about how you want to share your unique light in the world, but maybe you didn't have an opportunity to actually do that. Now 2020 is a year that you can build your dream. 2 is about sharing, and 2020 in numerology is a 4 universal year. 4 is very akin to Capricorn because it's all about structures and our material existence. If you want to build something, you build on a square, which has 4 corners. So this is a year where you're going to be squaring your corners. The 4 year is all about family, basically all of the structures in your life: family, finances, work, career. Can you see the themes? Do you get what this story is about? So this is what this year is about. It's about really building your dreams from the ground up. And sometimes that means tearing things down that aren't working for you. And this is where you need courage. You have to have the courage to let go of these structures that you are holding on for security. And that's the shadow side of the number 4, is holding on to things because you want to feel secure, because this is about security. But this is about really building your dreams from your heart, step by step, day by day. Who you really want to be in the world and what you really want to share in the world. So this is an exciting new frontier for you. And I have 4 keys to happiness and success in 2020 and beyond. So your first key to success this year is to dream big. All of this Capricorn is a sign of ambition. We begin this whole year with 5 planets in Capricorn. So Capricorn is teaching you to climb to the top of the mountain, but to really find a tall mountain to climb. Now, Capricorn's totem is the goat, right? So this is about how high can you climb? Oftentimes, what we do when we're creating our intentions and setting our goals is to make them realistic, right? You really, really want something, and that's what you've been discovering all of the last decade, what you really, really, really want. And then when you're planning for it, you think, I shouldn't go that high. That's too ambitious for me. But what this Capricorn is teaching you right now, what all these eclipses are teaching you, is to dream big, to set your sights so high. Because if you have a dream in your heart, then the divine wants to do everything possible to help you reach those dreams. Because where do you think those inspirations come from anyway? You receive these divine downloads because you are the one to deliver this awesomeness into the world. So dream big. Which brings us to your key to success and happiness, number 2, which is to expect the best. So once you set your ambitions high, toward what you really, really, really want, not just what you think you can get. Once you set that, you have to begin to expect and believe that you're meant to have that. I'm sure there's some aspects of your life, there's some things that happen to you in your life where you look back and you think, wow, that turned out so much better than I could have possibly imagined. It's like a miracle. So you can expect miracles and more. Really start expecting things to go your way. Start expecting quantum leaps. Start expecting expansion beyond what you ever thought was possible. If you can imagine it, you can create it. So start expecting it. Believe in yourself. Believe in what is possible, even if it seemed impossible. So when you set up those expectations, you're creating those thought forms that are starting to make it happen. Expect the best and you will receive it. Now, your third key to happiness is to be bold. So this 4 universal year is all about sharing your gifts, leaving a legacy, claiming your authority, claiming your power. And so if you want to be something that's bigger than you have imagined previously, you need to become that energy. So that requires some bold steps on your part. That requires you to be the energy that's a little bit bigger, or maybe a lot bigger, than you've allowed yourself to be now. This is about claiming your energy in the world and claiming your expertise. So I'll give you an example. Let's say it is your dream to be an astrologer. And by the way, that is a very good dream. So let's say that is your dream and you haven't had clients yet. So now if that's the case, if somebody asks you, what do you do? And you say, I want to become an astrologer, versus how about this? I am an astrologer. Do you see the energy of embodying who you are right now, about claiming your expertise? And so then every daily practice you do is in the bigger, bolder energy of who you know you are, rather than waiting for validation from the outside world. Claim your authority right now in a big and bold way. Act as if you are already there. It's going to help you take bigger leaps. It's going to help you act with more confidence. So act as if you are already what you are wanting to become, bigger and bolder. Embody that energy of that greatness that is already inside of you, that you are waiting to express to the world. So be bold, be big, and be your bright and beautiful self. Now, the fourth key to happiness and success in this year and beyond is to be supported. So we're in the 2 energy, which is all about partnerships. 2020, we're in the 20s now. And everyone's going to be learning about partnership, balance, harmony, and how to work with others. Now, that's part of why we see so much polarity in the world, because we've all been about the self, right? And now there's another person here. Have you ever heard of the terrible twos? It's like a toddler that's like, no, me, mine. Oh, I have to share now. So we're all going to be like figuring out like how we work and collaborate with each other. But it's important that you do collaborate with each other. You've been taught that you have to do everything yourself and be everything yourself. That's not true. You can be more of yourself as you're sharing this with others. And that's what this is all about now. So this is allowing yourself to be supported. So practice actually receiving support instead of thinking or saying, oh, I can do this all by myself. Catch yourself when you do that and ask for help. Let people help you. Share things. This is a time for collaboration. This is a time for cooperation. That's what we're going to be learning all decade long. So start now, and it's fun. It is fun to share your life with people. It's fun to collaborate with people. It's fun to let people support you, because that allows you to be the greatness of who you are even more, and it benefits everyone around you. So allow yourself to be supported, allow yourself to receive that, share things, share your love, cooperate, collaboration. That is what it's all about right now, and that makes life so much more fun. Now, I would love to support you on this journey moving forward in 2020 and beyond. This is going to be an extraordinary year and lots of twists and turns. It's uncharted territory. Now, I have been reading the clues and know how to interpret the terrain that we're headed through, the symbols, through our energetic messages. That is what I've been trained to do. That is my expertise. And I would love to be your Sherpa in this uncharted terrain. So if you would like to join me, I'm hosting 2020 Illuminated, 4 days of forecasts, magic, and healing. So this is going to be a 4-day event where I'm preparing you energetically, physically, spiritually, materially for this year ahead, so you can start this new decade with grace and power. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to help you with energy healing to clear and release the energy that is no longer serving you, the emotional burdens, any subconscious blocks that you have. And we're going to be doing some intention setting, soulful intention setting, so that you can chart your course moving forward here in a way that is directed, in a way that is empowered. And then it's a 4-day event. So on the second day, it's all forecast. So I'm going to be going through the spiritual lessons of the year, the karmic lessons, and month by month, I'm going to be sharing with you the many twists and turns. Like I said, we have lots of planets in retrogrades. We have all these eclipses. You really want to know the best time for action, the best time for retreat. It's really going to make a difference. It's kind of like knowing the tides or the weather. You want to be prepared when it's time for swimming and having fun and when you really want to back off, right? So that's what we do in the forecast. I help you know the energetic weather, the tides moving forward so you can plan for success, because really you don't need to have the challenges that might happen if you don't know these things. So I want to help you with that. We're going to be going over your personal numerology for the year, for the month by month, how to interpret your personal numerology so that you can plan for your divine timing as well. And then I'm going to have a Q&A so you can ask me anything about 2020 numerology and astrology. I am so excited about this year, and I'm so excited to help you navigate this terrain. It's going to be an amazing year. I want you to have all the tools that you can have, and I am so psyched to help you. I'm thrilled about this year. Whatever you choose to do, I am wishing you so much love for a fulfilling, happy, joyful, nurturing, awesome 2020 and beyond. Lots of love. Bye for now.